Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, my name is Tasha Deshawn. And on this channel, I do a lot of DIY which benefit in hair health and hair growth. So in this video particularly, I am creating a DIY hair growth oil using the coffee, cloves, and cinnamon. Coffee stimulates hair growth, reduces hair loss, improves hair texture, and even darkens hair color. Cloves does the exact same, along with combating dandruff. And the cinnamon helps stimulate hair growth, strengthen hair follicles, and reduces dandruff. So all three are a great choice in combining together and creating a powerhouse for hair growth. So even though the coffee is already grounded, I still went ahead and added it to my grinder because I want all three ingredients mixed together and distributed through evenly. So where to get these ingredients from? Well, I'm glad you asked. I've had all of my ingredients for quite some time now because I've been making products since 2018, but temporarily closed my website down a few months ago. So all of my products have come from all over the place. But you can just grab you a regular bag of coffee from any grocery store, your cloves from an Indian market, and your cinnamon from a grocery store or an Indian market. But if you don't have transportation or you just don't feel like going to the store, then you can always order all three of these from off of Amazon. You can even order the clove and the cinnamon either in the whole form or the powder form. Anyone would do just fine. But if you don't have a grinder, then the powder form will be a better choice. But I chose these three ingredients in specific because we know that coffee is strong due to it having caffeine in it, and it can block the effects of DHT, which is a hormone that contributes to hair loss. But did you also know that coffee grounds can be used as a gentle exfoliator to remove dead cells from the scalp? So all of that previous buildup that you've been using other products and leaving them on your scalp thinking that once you shampoo them off that it's gone, no, they are still there, and the coffee will help remove them in order to allow your scalp to breathe and also allow whatever that you put on your scalp to penetrate through your hair glands. Even better to get that hair to pushing a little bit more out of your scalp, because a lot of people don't know or don't realize that we can keep our hair in the anagen phase, which is the hair growth phase, just a little bit longer than its typical cycle. The anagen phase is the active phase of hair growth. During this phase, hair follicles actively produce new hair cells, causing the hair shaft to grow longer at a rate of about half of an inch per month. So if we do our calculations right, then that means we are only getting 6 inches of hair growth per year, and more than half of us are not even getting that. Well, let me rephrase that. We are getting it because all of our hair grows from the scalp, of course, but more than half of us are not retaining that length because as soon as it grows, it immediately breaks right back off. And the reason that it is doing that is because we are not preserving nor taking care of our ends. We have to remember that the ends are dead and the roots are alive. Okay, so I'm getting way ahead of myself. So let me just go back and explain why I chose sunflower oil as my oil of choice for this DIY. So sunflower oil can be very beneficial to the hair by moisturizing, adding shine to your hair strand, and promotes hair growth when you apply it to your scalp. And it keeps your ends preserved, like I stated before about taking care of your ends. So this oil helps with dryness and frizz. And the fatty acids that are in it also contributes to hair strength and hair elasticity. So it helps soften your hair strands, and it is great for dry and brittle hair. And I chose the double boiling method, although I could have just cooked it on the stove on low heat. So I know that I should have grabbed a stocking cap, or I should have just got a mesh bag for draining this, but I had neither one close to me at the time. And although it drained pretty slow, I still had enough to put in my 4-ounce bottle. But while off camera, I just took a spoon and stirred it up until all of the oils released and left all of the grounds and the extra grain residue behind. But back to the anagen phase and why it seems like our hair is not growing, although it truly is. We tend to get new growth on a regular basis by wearing all those protective styles like cornrows, box braids, mini braids, and mini twists. And for most of us, the only reason why we take them down is because we have received new growth, which is simply new hair that has grown from out of our scalp that sits up and it be puffy. y'all see that new growth on y'all scalp when y'all about to take y'all braids down. And depending on how long you choose to keep them in and what you apply to your scalp to help boost the new growth rate depends on how much growth you've received and how long your hair has gotten during the duration of that protective style. So like I said, we know that our hair is supposed to grow a 1/2 inch a month, which is the rate that it grows on its own, remember? And if you chose to wear a protective style for about 2 months without using anything on your scalp, then typically you will only receive about 1 inch of hair growth. But instead, if you decide to apply growth products to your scalp for 2 months straight on a consistent basis during the time that you are wearing that protective style, then your hair will grow a little bit more than 2 inches for those 2 months. So at the end, I'm adding about 1.5 teaspoons of the black castor oil, which can be used on thick or thin hair depending on how much you put in your concoction. Castor oil alone can be too thick for thin to medium type hair, but can be great for thick hair. But I always mix mine with some other type of carrier oil just to give it that even consistency. And we already know that it promotes hair growth. But did we know that it moisturizes dry hair, strengthens thin hair, prevents breakage, it heals, and prevents split ends? I purposely chose these particular ingredients for its rich nutrients and its rich effects, along with the potency and the darkness of them. So this combination together is a powerhouse for hair growth. You got some people that's buying that Jamaican black castor oil from the beauty stores that has the rosemary in it, and sometimes they are filled with other ingredients as well that will be put on the front of the bottle. So people really be thinking that they're doing something whenever they see them in the store and they're like, ooh, let me get that. I know that this is going to work. But hear me out. When you make these DIYs on your own and you add something as strong as coffee inside of it mixed with the castor oil, then that is when you are really doing it. Y'all, I have 1,000,001 of those small silver funnels for the dropper bottles, but I just didn't feel like looking for them at that time. But back to what I was saying. When you choose your own herbs and spices to add to your black castor oil, that is how you maximize the hair growth potential in your own personal bottle. And I know that the castor oil alone can be very expensive. I paid over $120 for mine. But I've had a business for 7 years and I don't use it all by itself. But you can always go under Amazon and get you about a 32-ounce bottle for only $15.99. Here, I'll go ahead and just put a picture at the top left corner, and then I'll also add the link in my description bar. But for those of you that are wondering why I didn't add any essential oil, well, the coffee and the clove smell is already very strong, so adding an essential oil was going to make it even stronger. So I decided to add a couple of drops of the country apple fragrance oil, in which if you've ever ordered that fragrance from Bath and Body Works, then you will know that it is very strong all by itself. But it gives a pleasant apple smell that takes away from the strong smell of that coffee and most definitely the strong smell of the cloves, honey. And as you can see, that the consistency is perfect to my liking. But if you want to make yours a little bit more thicker than mine, then go ahead and add as much castor oil as you would like. And for my 4C girlies, it probably would do you a great benefit if you add more of the thickness. And like I've stated in 1,000,000 of my other videos, and this will be the 1,000,001 more time that I'm stating it, that you do not have to go by measurements when you are creating your own DIYs. Make them to your liking. You may want to add or may need to add just a little bit more or a little bit less than what I've added to my concoctions. Y'all, this dropper bottle sucks, and I ordered them in bulk a long time ago. So I've been stuck with all these raggedy bottles for quite some time now. But what I was saying about the measurements is that you may need more in yours than what I've already applied to mine. It can depend on your hair condition. Your condition could be more severely than the next person. It could depend on your growth rate, which could be a little bit slower than the next person. But just don't miss out on your hair growth potential trying to keep up with somebody else's measurements. And please don't sit there and miss out on creating these powerhouse DIYs, waiting on an answer in the comment section about any type of measurements, or if you can switch one product to the next, because the answer is yes. Switch the product if you are allergic or if you don't have that particular ingredient in your cabinet. I'm just telling y'all that y'all be taking the fun out of this. Hair growth journeys are supposed to be very important, but at the same time it can be fun. Like literally, I'm on a hair growth journey right now, and I create DIYs back to back because I am trying to get to my specific, I almost said Pacific, but specific hair goal length. And I got there once, so I know for sure I'm going to get there again. But what I didn't do is waste my time looking for answers from other people as far as measurement wise. I've always created my own measurements, so don't let these other people that are creating their videos tell you that you have to go by theirs. Because if that's the case, then the question of the day is, where did they get their measurements from? Who told them how much to use? What book did they read that told them the exact measurements? And if that's the case as well, then who gave that person that wrote the book the specific measurements? These are the things that we have to ask ourselves. But these are the things that we must not allow to keep us from growing our hair to its maximum length. Many people are looking for unnecessary answers when meanwhile their hair is still stuck at ear length, when it's been stuck right there for the past 3 to 5 years. My hair was completely damaged and completely destroyed by a stylist who ripped one of my locks out, and my locks were bunching instead of budding. But I still would have kept those locks in if she wouldn't have snatched one out. So unfortunately, that forced me to have to comb them out, and my hair was chewed up. And instead of big chopping, I chose to heal my own hair strands by clipping the dead, broken, and raggedy end while creating DIYs and applying them to my scalp on a consistent basis, along with wearing protective styles. And as you can see right here, I am applying this to my scalp while not wearing a protective style. But that is only because I just created a video of me using this particular product in order to steam press my hair and to show the results from that. But if you go back and look at majority of my videos, you will see my hair in some type of style that is a protective style, and I will be putting another one in soon. But instead of big chopping, I have been growing and clipping. So I'll apply my hair growth DIYs on a consistent basis, which is every day for me. It don't have to be every day for you, but I'm not here to play with my anagen phase. And so far, my hair has been growing back at a faster rate than it usually would. And I'm keeping it in the hair growth phase longer than usual because I am continuously applying hair growth products to my scalp while protecting my ends. If you go back and look at my previous videos, you will see where I've done many videos of me applying my growth teas or my growth oils to my scalp every single day. And on one of those videos, I received about 1 inch of hair growth. The whole purpose of me recording every step is so people will see that this is what I'm actually using on my hair. So when they see the mind-blowing results, they'll know that it's the truth. They'll know that I'm not just coming on here and just showing you the after effect without showing you either the before and the in between. Many people show you a before picture after they've grown their hair to butt length and then want to get on here and motivate and hype you up on how to get yours to butt length. But that isn't how I like to do things. I like to bring you guys along with me because I'm here to tell you that trust is everything. And if I'm tired of just seeing people's after results, then I'm pretty sure y'all are too. Well, I hope you guys get the best growth benefits out of this DIY. And if you have plenty left over, then be a blessing to someone else that's struggling. You guys have a blessed one.